Alright, so this is a game I had on Sand River last night. Basically, this is in the Object 416, the Tier 8 Russian medium. It's a rear mounted turret. Doesn't have very good depression. You can go multiple places on this map from either side, but without depression, in a no RD game, a good place to go is over here in this like J2-ish area, J2, J3-ish area, which is where I'll go, because I can use that area to sort of prop up the back of my tank and then sort of get enough depression where I can shoot down effectively. So that's where I'm going to head. And then again, like on most maps, what you're going to do is whenever you head out to wherever you're going is watch to see where your team is going. And I think we get most of the team headed down to this south side as well. And then I can just set up here and spot these guys as they come in. I don't remember if I have optics on this tank or not, but I actually think I do, but it just doesn't have a good base view range. And so when we look at the dispersion, right, we got 1, 8, 1, 6, 1, 6, and KV2 is also a 6, headed out to this side. We have a super Pershing in the middle achieving in the base, but most of our tanks are on our side, so we have a reasonable amount of fire support here. And then I'm safe from, right, as I can use this ridge to protect me from direct fire from this K line and the J line, but I can be shot from up here, so that's something that I have to be cognizant of. And so we see that they have at least 3 8s here, and the Tech 58, which is a 6. And they're moving up into this little canyon here, which is fine. They can't really do that much there without pushing over and me getting shots on them. And so we'll notice that these guys on the north haven't detected anything yet. And then now I know they have at least an E25 in the middle, so I have to be aware that that E25 can potentially shoot me once he starts paying attention. I don't think that was the E25, I think something else shot at me. Maybe from the ridge over here. That's a much more difficult shot than I'm now. And so I've done 2k damage here and without really taking any significant fire in return, but we're not trading that well on this side. So at some point you have to determine whether you think you're going to win this side or not. And I'm not going to win this side unless they charge in at me. Right, my team behind me, these guys are a little bit too far back to be effective. These guys are kind of poking a little bit too far forward and getting shot up. That was probably the E25. And so we still have the majority of our tanks over here. This T-34 has spotted a Hellcat over on this side. So we don't have any intel because we don't really have any scouts. Well, we didn't have anybody actually do any gathering of intel other than me spotting these guys on this side. So I'm going to go on this side and see if we can work this side, because I know they've got a large number of tanks here, and that basically these guys aren't getting enough shots. I'm the only one that's getting a lot of shots in my position, but that position, if they push in, can potentially be swarmed. So it's worth my while to go look on this other side to see what's there. Especially since we're down like 2 to 3k health at this point. And then so the first thing that you want to do is sort of spot and see if there's anything in this middle. I noticed that they've started pushing up on this side now. And then so I know that they have this E25 in the middle. He's moved up, right? They have the JP up here, who was just killed by the T-34. So presumably they have, this T-34 is cleared this side. The two tanks that we had here, the KV-2 and the Hellcat, I believe, pushed in here and just got killed by these guys on the ridge. So what I need to do is figure out how long these guys are going to last, and can they last long enough for us to clear out this side. So the first thing that I need to do is to kill this E25. So I go over towards this little ridge on the left here. So this ridge will protect me from the their ridge fire. And I see that he's driving away. And I thought he didn't detect me, but as I started driving across, the Sixth Sense went off. And so otherwise that would have been a much cleaner run. Well, that, and if I didn't bounce off of him. And then now I'm using this little set of rocks, and this is where being in a pancake actually helps, because you can be low enough to dodge things. And then their Indian hits me with an HE shell. If he fired AP, I probably would have died. And I don't have the depression to fire back. And that's why I don't normally come here in in this tank otherwise. And this low isn't looking at me. And then so we see on this side, these guys are getting pushed, but they're still alive. But I can only work this side so fast now because I put myself down into a one-shot. And we still have this Chivri on the ridge here, who's not doing much. I mean, he can sort of help these guys, but he can't help these guys until pretty much they're dead. And then this guy's in the houses, so I can't really help him now. But the interesting thing about this is this low is pushed through the houses. The E25 is dead, the SU-100 is paying attention to the T-34 and the Cromwell, so that gives me an opportunity to back up, because I was pinned into that position there. But I can just now move back and use these rocks, and then again, my tank is low enough that these rocks can completely cover me, so that I'm safe from fire from where that Indian was, for example. And then now, these guys have collapsed just as that low went down, so it's IS-3, T-34, ARL, all slow tanks. I know that the Indian is somewhere over there. Oh no, wait a minute, I'm sorry, the Indian died when those guys pushed in. And so it's a Cromwell up here, the EZ-8, which is somewhere in the back. And then we have our T-34, who's already up here. T-34 is also a slow tank, but my estimation at this point is that really the best chance that we have is to cap fast. So we have to kill this Cromwell and get on, and the EZ-8, and then both of us have to get on the cap. The Chivri can do one of two things. He can either slow these guys down, or he can cap fast with us as well. It probably wouldn't matter as long as us two, the T-34 and I, are on the cap. It really won't matter. And then I see that this guy's an AFK, and there's much rejoicing. You still have to get them down though, because they have a super Pershing, and the super Pershing wasn't spotted in a while. And then, like, you'll see in a little bit, like, this Cheery will spot most of these guys, and so we'll know that the cap fast is the right thing to do. Yeah, like right there. See, he spotted those two guys. We know that the IS-3 was in that ditch, so he'll probably appear over here because I think he's chasing the Cheery. So the only tank that's unaccounted for is the Super Pershing. So if this Super Pershing started coming back, he can easily kill us because I'm one shot, and I think the T-34 is one shot as well. Yeah. And then the one small flaw is this T-34 should have been moving a little bit earlier because it takes him a little while to get to the cap. The IS-3 kills the Cheery, and you can tell that the IS-3 is trying to come back. There's no way that these guys are going to make it back, so the only chance that they have is this guy right here. And that's the ball game. That's why I always say that you always have to send somebody back, because otherwise you can just get boned. Because they probably should have won that game. I mean, the average damage for the T-34 is greater than the combined health of our entire team.